Hello, gorgeous people. Just as I promised, we have our hair reveal. What do you think? He's all pretty. He's nice and dark purple. I like it. And I also have a special treat for you guys. I'm actually going to be doing my makeup. We're going to pretend that I'm a girl today. Well, I am a girl, but we're going to pretend I actually know how to be a girl. And I'm going to, like I say, pretend that I know how to do my makeup. But I mean, I paint. I'm an artist. It can't be too hard, right? You just blend it. Eh. But yeah, I got the cheap stuff because I figured it would be easier. Alrighty. So the first thing that I'm going to do is get my fur out of my face. And we are going to be checking out r-creepy encounters. And I'm going to be reading these babies while I try to get this done. I have no idea how this is going to go. So, this first one says, I was mistaken for an underage girl. Yeah, I think we've all had that happen a few times, hopefully, at one point or another. Makes you feel nice. It depends, I guess. I don't know. I'm writing this on a throwaway because I hope your holidays treated you well. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I hope that yours treated you well as well. Whoever this was. Complete Candle 1634. I'm writing this on a throwaway because, well, I don't know. It just feels better, I guess. I'm 23 and I'm a girl. And while I do have to dodge the occasional creep, it's moments like this that make me question whether or not humanity has any hope. This does not start out very promising, now does it? It sounds bad already. But I have hope for this poor girl. I got hope for her. I'm just gonna flick the lights on real quick, guys. I'll let y'all hang with my gnomies here for a second until I get back. My cute little dudes. I love gnomes so much. Huh. So, for context of this story, I am 4'11" and a half. I missed the talk gene that my family has. I'm petite, but trust me, all of the height translates well into fury. Yeah, that's the thing about short people. They're normally kind of scary. I don't really know how else to put it. All you short people, y'all are bloody terrifying. I don't really know how to do this. I miss the talk. I'm petite, but trust me. I go running at the track not far from where I live. Not even really for the intent of exercising. It's more like my decompression. To to daydream and run off the day's frustrations. Okay. You know, I get that. Everybody needs to decompress and get some stuff just off of their brain sometimes. I feel like we all need that. So for I did about a mile, had a seat on the bench to catch my breath, look for another playlist on my iPod, and debate if I was going to do any further running. A man came up to the seat next to me. He was extremely large, both in stature and body weight. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are typically the guys that seem a little bit scurry. I need to add some moisture. There we go. Huh. Somewhere in the ballpark of 6'4", he could have easily squished me like a bug. I didn't pay much mind, or at least tried not to. It was especially hard given the ample amount of park benches around the track that were unoccupied. He said something, but I could barely hear him with my AirPods in. I took them out and asked him to repeat himself. He said, "They don't make them the way they are when I was your age." What? That seems like a strange thing to say. I was confused, but not really confused. He went on to say things like, "Bodies are changing. If I had a girlfriend like you..." Excuse me? Oh, heck no. I think I'd have ate this man. He'd have been sitting there like, what's going on, miss? No. You're there to run away. Red flag. Ugh. After continuing to say nothing to him, as you should, my dear, this guy is terrifying. He asked if my parents were okay with me being in the park alone, and asked what my curfew was. Then he started rambling about my butt and my boobs, implying that I was extremely advanced for my age. Dude, I'm small, and yes, I have cha-chas, but I'm old enough to drink at a bar, and I'm financing a car, I vote, I pay rent, but still creepy. I got up to leave, and he stood up after me. Okay. He asked if he could take me for food, but I ignored him and kept walking. I went near the bathroom where they have a set of wall lockers, and I got my things. I also made a pit stop in the bathroom for obvious reasons. When I left, I started making my way to my car, but he was on the sidewalk not far away from my vehicle. As I'm about to get in my car, he calls out to me and says, "Oh, so you can drive?" I don't know if that was a disappointment to figure out that I was older than he thought or whatever. I didn't stop. I got in the car and left. He made mention for me to stop, but I didn't. I also had my hand on my revolver. I didn't think it was that extreme of a case, but screw it. I'd rather ask for forgiveness. You know what? I kind of... Yeah. I kind of get that. The reason I'm typing this narrative out in the first place is because I got a card in the mail. And surprise, there's a registered sex offender in my neighborhood that committed crude acts towards a minor, and guess who's black and white in the picture was in the corner. I filed a police report this afternoon and told them that he was at a public park and possibly thought I was a minor. They said they'd look into it, but judging by how they took my report, I hold out little hope. Be careful out there. I don't care what age you are. Some people are just dangerous. That is true. Some people are bloody well scary. And we do not want to run into those people. They are not okay. Oh, that made my skin crawl. Ugh. Okay, so this one caught my attention, but I didn't click on it, and now I plan to. So, my true house cleaning horror story. This happened 7.5 years ago, June 23rd, 2016, while I was cleaning out my house. I was renting a house for a year, and the year was almost up. I wasn't going to be living there next year, so it was time for me to start cleaning out. Excuse me. And moving my stuff to my next place. The house that I had at the time was fairly small, but also had plenty of space for just me. Yeah, that's most houses nowadays. They're all cute and little and cozy. Happy little places. I like new age houses. They're so cute. They're cute. Just like my Miss Nessa. Isn't that right, girl? Come here, Ness. Lay down. Lay in your little puppy bed. Yes, you're such a good girl. I mean, nothing could ever be cuter than Nessa, but... we're gonna digress on that one. Because maybe, just maybe, there could be something out there that's cuter than Nessa. We don't know. Is that even? I don't know if that's even. Like I said, guys, I'm not an expert. I am learning. Apparently, I'm obviously not an expert. I can't even figure out how to get the cat back on this thing. Haha. Oh my gosh. I love how I said that as if it's actually a brag. I lived there by myself, and I had just finished cleaning out the living room, and other than some basic furniture, I had moved on to clean the kitchen. And there were quite a few cabinets. So many that I didn't use, a good number of them. I was looking through some of the ones that I didn't use to make sure that there was nothing I had in them. Smart. Because a lot of the times I would love to know how much stuff I have left behind while I was moving. It's kind of crazy. This kind of feels nice. So one of them I opened up and I saw something in the back corner. It looked like some type of shirt or rag. I grabbed it and saw that I didn't think it was mine, but when I moved it, it revealed a small white lever that I could barely see. The cabinet was in the corner, sort of by the sink, and halfway blocked by the stove. I thought it was just another pipe, but it looked a little bit different to me. So I got inside, and I had to crawl inside the cabinet, which was pretty large. So once I got inside, I saw there was a small trap door to the side leading into the wall. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You had to be completely inside in order to see the detail of it. I decided to open the door, which led to an extremely narrow hallway with a sort of crawl space. Oh, yeah. But when I got further inside, I was horrified. I saw there was food, as well as several blankets, as if someone had been living inside of there. The good news, at least to me, is that whoever was in there was gone. I tried to make sense of it and figure out how long the person had been there, and how I didn't know about it. I was gone from the house a lot with work and other stuff, but I didn't know how it was possible for someone to live in there without me knowing. I continued cleaning until it got pretty late, and the next day after work, I continued. I was still kind of in shock finding a secret room in my house, as you should be! As you should be! Oh my god! Phew. So I decided to look at it once again. I opened the cabinet and went inside. I pulled the lever open just like I had the previous day. But this time, as soon as I opened it, I saw movement. And I saw the person. For a split second, they slammed the door back shut on me. And I immediately turned and ran all the way out of my house to my car and then called the police. I was so scared that I started driving away as well. I opened up my phone and told the police the whole situation, and they came to my house a short time later to find that whoever had been there was now gone. I was absolutely disgusted knowing that this random person had access to my house for who knows how long. It felt like a vivid nightmare I need to wake up from. When I opened up my phone to call the police, it showed that the date was June 23rd, 2016. I still remember this date. 7 years later, it stayed with me like a scar I don't know if I will ever heal from. Luckily for me, I moved out the next week. I really don't know how long the person was living in my secret room, but thankfully, it never gave me a problem. Thanks for reading my true horror story. As someone who has already experienced things like home invasion, I would always suggest that you lock your doors because you can never know what people can do when they are in your house. Oh my god, that is truly terrifying. Oh my god. I am so sorry that happened to you. That is my nightmare. That is my absolute nightmare. Oh my god. No. 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 I called the police on the person sitting in my neighbor's parking lot. Well, maybe you saved their life. People are terrifying, as we are learning today. Oh my gosh. Phew. Okay. Oh. I can't believe that is my lesson for the day. That human beings are most likely the scariest thing around. Just, oof. I don't know if I overreacted calling the police. I got home from work around 10:30 p.m. today, and I went to do my pretty typical after work routine. Okay. Check the mail, walk my dog, eat some dinner. I went to check the mailbox, and there was a car sitting idle in my neighbor's parking lot that I've never seen, and I've never seen this car before. The headlights were on, and a guy was sitting in the driver's seat. Okay. So, maybe it's the Amazon guy? Wait a little while. See if they get out. Maybe look a little bit closer. See if they got packages in their car. Because I'm nosy, and that's exactly what I would do. I live alone, and my boyfriend was over to drop me off at home after work. I went to unlock my apartment door for him because he wanted to pet my cat while I was out walking my dog. I take my dog to her usual potty spot, which is this pretty sketchy area with minimal lights. Oh, yeah. Who would. Well, I guess the dog would prefer to go there. Nessa likes to hide when she goes to potty, don't you, Ness? Yeah, you're a hider. You gotta hide to go poo. Drop a little turd and then run back. Sorry, guys. I'm not your typical dog. I'm worse. Okay. With minimal lights. And that's when the guy who was in the pickup truck got out and started to approach me in the dark. No. No. Bad man. I bite. I don't like it when people try to approach me in general, but in the dark, ha 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 ha, good luck not getting kicked. Anyways, he pulled out his phone and asked me if I had seen the lady on her screen, and he showed me a picture of a lady who I could barely make out, as she took up maybe 1/6 of his phone screen. Oh, yeah. And he kept getting closer and closer, and as I kept telling him, no, I don't know who that is, he insisted that she lived in this apartment complex in Unit 20. My apartment is nowhere near 20. It's on the other side of the complex. Oh, I kept backing away from him, and my dog could sense that there was something wrong with him, obviously, because dogs are way better at telling things about people than people are. Let's be honest here. Nessa knows, don't you, girl? Yeah. Bless you. Oh, Lord. So he showed me a picture of a lady I could barely make out as she took up maybe 1/6 of his phone screen. He kept getting closer and closer as I kept telling him, no, I don't know who that is. He insisted that she lived in this building. Oh, yeah. The more this guy talked, the more he creeped me out, and he said that he needed to know her location. Oh, yeah, to make sure she's not a catfish. And he's not a bad guy because his kid was in the car waiting for him. That doesn't help your case, bud. At this point, I knew I had to get out of the situation, so I practically sprinted inside and went to go tell my boyfriend what happened. Good girl. I asked him to come out of the apartment with me to see if the car was still there, but the guy had gotten back into his truck, but is still parked in my neighbor's spot. And while this was happening, my neighbor had returned home, asked the truck to move out of his parking spot, which he did, only to circle back 5 minutes later and park in the spot right next to my neighbor's car. He spooked the hell out of me. I had ended up dialing the local non-emergency line for some peace of mind. My apartment has an extensive amount of security cameras due to the high crime rate in the area. And I'm wondering if I should report this incident to the apartment complex. Yes! Oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to say this once and once only. Absolutely, at absolutely any point in time that you feel unsafe and somebody if you, especially if you truly believe that somebody is like stalking your home, for starters, and like trying to get you to go to their car, absolutely report it. Do not wait. That is some scary stuff. And you could save another girl from being abducted. For one. Oh my god, that is so terrifying. That is actually so freaking scary. I am glad that you are okay. And yes, you should definitely report that because holy hell. Um, that's literally all that I can say about that is just holy hell. You are so lucky that you are okay and that you did not get abducted. I feel like we as women don't really get to take things as seriously as we used to be able to. Because that is some creepy stuff. And your local police department's just like, oh, yeah, yeah, fine. No, it's not okay. A tweak of psychology saved my life. I feel like psychology saved a lot of our lives, especially in this day and age. Nowadays, I feel like we all be needing some psychology. How's this look, guys? Is it okay? You can tell me. You can tell me it looks bad. I'm okay with it. I'm not sensitive. Well, I am sensitive, but. A little bit of blush. A little bit more whiteness. Because I'm actually freaking pale. I don't want to look stupid. And then just. Maybe that's not so bad. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys can tell. I never use the face makeup at all. I don't know how to do it. But we're trying. We are trying. And that is what really matters. Is honestly just that we try. Right? Huh. Hmm. Okay. That was a long break. So this happened back when I was 22. A girl I dated since high school sporadically left me for another guy on an impulse. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. You probably suck. Just saying. Okay, that was mean. That was uncalled for. I decided to travel across country to California. Why? To do some surfing. Okay. I didn't make any formal plans, and I'd say that it was a fairly spur of the moment decision, not important, but it would demonstrate some of my lack of preparation. I slept in my car for the most part at Cracker Barrels if I could find one. Nice. Who doesn't love a good Cracker Barrel? I love crackers. So, this is honestly not important, but I like the story. Uh, when I was a young girl, I used to go to the vending machine at the hospital every afternoon, like a weird little dweebo that I am. I just getting pretty. And I would go up to the vending machine and I would pay, I believe it was $3.35 for two packages of crackers and a little thing of cheese. And I would always go and I would feed the cheese to my dogs. And I would eat those soda crackers because I loved those premium plus soda crackers. Yeah. Not sure why this is relevant or why I felt like I needed to tell you guys that, but I felt like I needed to tell you that I absolutely adore soda crackers and I have since I was a little kid. Anyway, I wasn't in a huge hurry to get to my destination. I was just happy to be out of the city and on the open road. I made detours here and there, but also rerouted a few times, and for one reason or another. Okay. Not sure if that's relevant to the story. You're rerouting. Okay. Why are you rerouting, bub? I just turned so Canadian. I decided to save on some costs by spending the night at a campground one night. Okay. It was a comfortable enough setup, and I was planning on sleeping on the beach when I hit California, so I had my trunk full with some camping gear. My goal was to relax for the night and hit the road early in the morning. Well, sometimes it's nice to just chill out and relax, do some stuff, not worry about it, but something tells me this guy's not gonna actually get to do that. I set up camp and was beginning to settle down for the night. I cracked open a beer and lit a cigar. Ew. Suddenly, this girl approaches my slot and asks if she could join me, and she was pretty. She had dirty blonde hair, she was busty. Honestly, everything that you would potentially want in this type of situation. Oh, yeah, bud. Oh, yeah. You don't really want that type of situation. It's scary. You don't ever want anybody coming up to your campsite. Remember this. Bad news bears. If anyone just waltzes on up to your campsite, it's bad news bears. Okay? Okay. Don't trust people. Humans are not to be trusted. I do not trust the humans. Okay? Okay. This is what we should be taking from this story. Okay? So I knew that this wasn't going to end the way that my head was leaning towards, because she called out to line 3, told some people that I said it was okay to join. 2 guys came out, both my height, but something was off about them. I rationalized that as just being part of the circumstances, 3 strangers at the campsite with me, just not knowing who they were. And it seems as though it was reasonable to me to be a little perturbed. I had a Yeti full of beer, which I shared, and they played some music and we talked for a bit. They weren't horrible company, but from what I gathered, it seemed like they may have just wanted to split my beer and have some food. So, whatever, let them hang out, right? Right? Come on, guys. Somebody tell this. Oi. Somebody explain to this person that this was not a good idea, please. I don't think I have the patience. Okay? What just happened? What just happened? How did that just happen? As the sun went down, the topics of conversation as well as their behavior got a little troubling for my taste. One of the guys unzipped their pants and took a was right near the fire where everyone was sitting, and it didn't bother them, but I found it odd. Well, yeah, because that is odd. Most people would typically want a little bit of privacy while they're in that type of, got their pants yanked down. At least I would want some privacy. I don't know about this dude. Maybe it's a different world that they're in out there. Maybe it's a protection thing. I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe actually, you never know because there are animals that are like, yeah, I've got a. Some animals will, in the wild, they will not leave whatever their their hunting partner, I guess they'll call it, alone while they're out doing anything, while they're, using the little critter potty. Yeah, animals using the critter potty in the wild don't typically leave each other alone while they're using the critter potty in the wild as a protection thing. So maybe that's what it is. They're just using their wild, natural wild instincts, I guess. I mean, that's how I'm rationalizing it at least. I don't know these people. I really don't. I don't think I want to. They seem kind of weird. Not gonna lie. I don't think I would like their company. They just seem like bad news bears. Is all that it is. I'm not a big fan of the bad news bears. Bad news bears, they get you. We don't want them. Them bad news bears. Bad for the soul. Oh, Lord. Okay, this is making it easier. So you fellas are probably most likely going to laugh at me, but it has been over a year since I've tried to do my makeup, and I honestly forgot how. Yeah. So welcome to my little reteach yourself moment here. Okay. Okay. So next, one of the guys just casually pulled out a belt knife and began sharpening it. He asked me some really specific questions, such as if my parents were funding the trip. Oh, yeah. Bad news bears. Bad news bears. I don't like him already. And if I was carrying a gun at my current age, I wouldn't have offered any information good because you do not give these bad news bears any of the information that they want. They're, no. We do not help the bad news bears get their way. Like, we don't know what their intentions were with this sweet young lady. Like, no. No, we do not play this game with the bad news bears. Okay? I would have probably made an excuse to leave, but younger me said no to both questions, which was a lie because I carried and I still carry. Oh yeah, 357 Magnum under my seat. Nice. And the other guy asked me how much pocket money I'd have to have on me to travel solo across the country. And I told him that I was budget traveling and I didn't carry cash on me. I got the impression more and more that these people didn't have pleasantries on the brain, of course, and that I may be in a worse situation than I had originally thought. Obviously, sorry, girl, but you should not have invited these guys to come hang out with you at all. Like I said, no. Bad news bears. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely loving the shimmer here. Like, that is some extreme gold. Okay, that's just beautiful. Absolutely. Okay, so yeah. The other guy asked me how much to travel solo across the country. Oh yeah. I almost lost our place, guys. You would have been so mad at me. Um yeah, that's starting to look a lot better. Blend it up a bit. Yes, I know that blending it off isn't exactly everybody's favorite thing, but I live in a small town. Okay? Gotta try to keep it a little bit subtle. At least just a little bit. Right? I can't keep it subtle. Part of me viewed myself as a Kerouac and thought that I was just meeting some colorful traveler such as myself, and I quickly realized that reality isn't quite as romantic. The girl who was originally sweet and somewhat shy became more aggressive as the night went on, and not like a super intimidating, scary way, but she became more vocal and more physical with the other two, not the same girl that approached my camp. Oh, yeah. So that's red flag. This is what we call a red flag. And when you run, run. Always leave yourself the time to run away. Okay? Okay. Welcome to my TED Talk. Don't get yourself in bad situations. Do not be naive. Don't trust anybody. So one of the bigger guys came over and he had a seat near me, but dangerously close. Oh yeah. I was leaning up against a log bench and he kept his arm around me, but not touching me. Good. Don't touch. Don't ever touch. The guy with the knife asked me more questions, such as who I knew I was traveling when I was, such as who knew I was traveling. Okay. When I was expected back home, and what I did for a living. The questions were too specific for me to realize as casual conversation were too specific for me to rationalize as casual conversation. I became extremely scared because it dawned on me that my dumbass did this on impulse. Yeah, I call that dumb too, hun. Sorry, but you're obviously not the smartest, the sharpest tool in the shed. I say that, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed either. I understand your pain. And we're all in this together. Oh, gosh. I didn't have a job that would report me missing, and my family didn't know that I was traveling. And I wanted my trip to be low key, and in that stupid thought process, anything could happen to me, and nobody would know. Yeah. The guy holding the knife then started telling a story about his first time hunting, and he asked me if I hunted, which I said yes. He then went into graphic detail about his first time, and that he and his friend went rabbit hunting, and essentially how they butchered a rabbit a lot. No! Poor bunny. It's not okay. Poor little wabbit. It's not wabbit season! Okay? It is not wabbit season. We do not support the harming of bunnies. Okay? Okay. Okay. The other two thought that the story was funny. That's creepy. And I didn't. Good, because you're normal. Obviously, you didn't think it was funny. I didn't know if this was a scare tactic or the preamble to something more sinister, but I didn't take any chances, though. I got up to grab some more beers. One, to contemplate how I was going to leave, and two, to get myself repositioned away from the other guy. I knew I was dealing with something more serious. When the guy that was sitting next to me followed me to my car, which was only a few feet away, and I made several excuses to move as I casually grabbed necessary items and put them into my open trunk. Okay. It looked like they were onto what I was trying to do, so I had to think fast. I noticed that one kept close to me was slurring his speech from drinking, so I made my last-ditch effort. Using that to my advantage, I grabbed 4 beer bottles and passed them out as I had been doing. I took a small squirt bottle and dropped a few drops in my beer and did the same to theirs. I raised my bottle to toast, and the girl asked what I put in their drink. I told her it was just something to take the edge off and liven the party up some. One drank the beer with no problem, but the other two seemed hesitant. I insisted, but they didn't take the bait, and I took a long chug myself and told them that it was just THC and it wasn't that potent. They eventually drank the beer once they saw that I was comfortable drinking it. And after a couple of minutes, I started acting sick and realized out loud that I had mixed up the drops. One guy got angry and asked me what it was. I grabbed my head and told them that I didn't know. Then I gave a very frantic apology by saying that I had been putting it in their drinks for the past hour or so, and the bigger of the two started heaving and eventually fell over. The guy that was originally holding the knife started getting dizzy. The girl laid down while clutching the log bench, demonstrating what looked like seasickness to me. I threw up the deuces sign as I got into my car and drove off. A couple of things worth noting. Because I still had a long trip ahead of me, I didn't want to be hung over. So we were all drinking non-alcoholic beer. The drug administered was nothing more than liquid caffeine for a vape pen. And was I in danger? I'll never have the closure to say yes or no, but considering the specifics of the questions, along with the sudden changes in personality, leaning towards yes. Ooh. I considered just turning around and going home, but I pressed on to California. I also told everybody that I could that I was traveling and which routes I was taking, and also checked in with family once a day. Just to end on this point on a positive note, I met my wife on that trip to California. Aww. Excuse me. But that's so cute. He met his wifey. That's sweet. But yeah, you know what? At least something positive came of it. He met his wife. That's so cute. Now I have to color my eyebrows purple because my freaking hair is. Gosh darn it. Man, I also gotta pluck these babies soon. I'm just turning into caterpillars. My caterpillars. Okay, so this here is some Almay lip butter. Because I love it. Now this is going to make a nice dark inner spot. Nice little interior for our lip. Before we come in with this baby. Which is our CoverGirl Kitty Cat Black. Because this is my regular. I love this. And we, my lovelies, are almost done here. But doesn't this lipstick look fetching? It's gorgeous. I love it. I just sounded so bloody well weird. This is still... Oh. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Apparently I am out of eyeliner. Okay. So we have found it. Okay. I'm actually going to move you guys for a minute. Okay. Gonna grab this too to set my mirror on because I broke my stand. I'm working on this. It's not very good. But I am working on it nonetheless. Okay, so we have finished our eyeliner. That's all done. Holy Hannah. Wasn't supposed to take that long. Okay. So, what is next? Creep waited for me after work. I, 18 female, have been working for a large department store in the UK for just over a year now. This story happened when I was 16. It was late in the evening, around 9 p.m. or so, as we stay open late for the Christmas rush. I was walking across the shop floor when a man brushed fairly close to me. Okay. I'm often in my own world at work, and this made me jump a little, as it probably would most people, my dear. It is okay. You are allowed to be jumpy. I'm very jumpy. I kind of get that. He must have noticed this because he said, "Hello." I responded and he asked me how I was. I said, "Good, and you?" He nodded and walked towards the doors out into the car park. Okay. Yeah. Squiggly line in my vision. I think I got it. Okay. He nodded and walked towards the doors out into the car park. I didn't think much of this at all, but it did catch me off guard. I decided to walk across to the other side of the shop, and bear in mind the floor plan is massive, and continue tidying rails there. I hear a man shout from a few meters away, and I look up to see the same guy again, and it's only now that it really took to notice of his appearance. He had a large tattoo of a dagger on his right cheekbone and was wearing a black jumper with the hood pulled up. He was about a foot taller than me and clearly much older. This seems pretty creepy, but we're going to try not to judge a book by its cover here, and hopefully this dude isn't as weird as we think he is. I don't know. I mean, he probably is. He's kind of following her around. Like, I'm kind of hoping that he's just looking for something specific and he's like being shy and not just like being creepy, trying to get her out into the parking lot. But you never really know, honestly, do you? It's kind of hard to. How's it looking, guys? Am I turning back into a girl yet? So I asked him if he needed any help, and he gestured for me to come closer to him. I tend to freeze and follow instructions in this situation, which is not exactly the best survival instinct. I naively thought that he just wanted to know which exit he needed, and he asked me what my name was, and I told him, you've got really pretty eyes," he said. And at this point, I was getting a bit freaked out. Sounds like somebody I know, literally right down to the description. I thanked him hesitantly and turned to leave, but he put his hand on my forearm again. I kind of just froze. "Have you got a boyfriend? Have you got Snapchat? Can I get your number?" And he became more and more persistent, and I just wanted him to leave. I told him that my number one was I was working, and number two, I'm underaged. He then asked me how old I was, and I told him I was 16. Again, I don't know why I answered him, but my brain just shuts down, to which he responded, it could work. At this point, I was really shaken up, and I didn't know what to do. Thankfully, one of my male colleagues walked up to me to ask a question, making him leave, winking at me as he did so. Ew! Creep! Noticing my distress, he asked me what happened, and I explained the situation. He urged me to report it, but I was hesitant as I didn't want to inconvenience anyone or get him into any trouble. However, there are a lot of teenage girls that work in the shop, and I wouldn't want them to be targeted, so I told one of the managers. Yes, you should have told the manager right away. Girl! Dang it. Like, your first thought in this situation should have been, oh, I should tell my manager. Your manager is literally there to keep the... Oh, God. Your manager is literally there to keep you safe as an employee. Literally, a manager's job is to do paperwork, protect their employees. That's it. That's what a manager does. Their job is to make sure that you are safe in your workspace. Okay? Do not ever hesitate to tell your manager if you feel unsafe in your working environment. That's just crazy talk. Like, I wonder if this girl knows how much worse that this situation could have gotten if her coworker didn't come over. Like, if her coworker didn't come over, she could have been in some massive trouble. Like, she could have been abducted. Anything could have happened. And she's not even thinking about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm watching too much Dateline. Maybe I read too much murder mystery stuff. Maybe I'm just thinking the worst about the human race in general, but at the end of the day, if something creepy is happening in your workplace, make sure that your manager knows. They're supposed to help you. That your manager would not have been upset at all about you informing them. Okay? Okay. Oh, this is actually starting to look quite nice. Where did that go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh. Yeah. But yeah, scary stuff happens. Tell your manager. Let them help you. Ugh. So, yes, if you're not inconveniencing anyone or getting anyone into trouble. There are a lot of teenage girls that work in your shop. You wouldn't want them to be targeted, so tell your manager. And you did tell your manager, so that's good. So then they notified store security and sent me off to the shop, sent you off the shop floor to get some coffee and calm down. Good, good. I love that for you. I love that your management is behind you and your security team. That is perfect. That is exactly what you want. Good. Oh, this one got me worked up. Ugh. I came back and finished my shift, and when I went to leave, the security guy stopped me on my way out and told me that he didn't want me to be alarmed, but they had managed to track the man's car and he was parked inside of it, and they said that there was a high probability he was waiting for me and I shouldn't go out there by myself. Just as a precaution, he escorted me to my mother's car and we drove home. I'm so thankful that nothing ended up happening to me in that night, and I often think what would have happened if my friend didn't persuade me to report it and I went out alone. Honestly, yeah. I'm so glad that your friend persuaded you to report it. I'm so happy that your coworker came over and inserted himself into the situation, because that dude would not have left you alone. You probably would have been abducted, possibly in the middle of your work shift. I don't know why that seems like the worst possible thing to me, but I'm a bit of a workaholic, so getting abducted in the middle of your work shift doesn't really seem very fun. I'm okay with getting abducted. I'm okay with dying, but at the end of the day, if it's gonna happen in the middle of the work shift, no, it's gonna happen at the end of the goddamn day. Sorry, that was a lot. Okay, so check the finished oh dang. This kind of looks nice. So, yeah. One thing that we are learning here today is always let your management know. I am so glad that this coworker of yours inserted themselves into the situation and that everything turned out okay. Thank heavens, because gee golly, heaven only knows what could have happened to you. You are so lucky. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but until next time, you guys have an awesome day. I love you all. You are all extremely beautiful and wonderful and amazing. Make awesome choices. Do not do any of the things that these people in these stories are apparently doing. Make sure that you, unless you're doing the right thing and listening to your rational friend, yes, always listen to your rational friends. Thank you. Have a great day. I love you. Bye-bye.